Just talk about that.
Do you think the dynamic between Naruto and Hinata were a bit underdeveloped? Because I think she should have been more forward sooner, and she should have appeared more often with Naruto so she can be a bit more braver and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just recorded episode number 704 on Wednesday before I flew out that night, and which explains how I'm delirious. Anyway, but it's true. That is a little bit true. It's sort of like you have to fill in the blanks yourself, which isn't a bad thing. You know, in the same way that he went from Naruto, and then we skipped 3 years and a lot of things that happened. So the good thing about cartoons is you can take that liberty, whereas you can't do it with live action stuff necessarily. And whenever they try and do remakes and stuff like that, half the time it fails because it doesn't read as true, but I think that it reads as true in Naruto, which I think is the genius of the show. People die, they come back, they have flashbacks. You learn more in a flashback than you do what was happening, in the present. So while I think that's a little bit true, I also think that's believable. Thank you. Come on up.
Hello. Quick question for you. So I'm assuming that they tell you what sounds they want you to make in your script somehow.
Like
Are
this?
you able to read those? Like exclamation marks? Or they're like capitalization, different?
It says, there's like a little code. It says like CM affirmation, which means closed mouth affirmation. Now, Americans don't ever do that, but apparently in cartoon world in Japan, it's like this. Huh? Oh. There's a lot of that. And it'll say open mouth, huh? You know? And there's one that's CT, clenched teeth. It'll say CT. There's all sorts of little designations in there.
Exactly how the intonation has to be for that specific thing. Because you could say huh in like 50 different ways.
And I have.
That is true. So, how do you read that? Or do you just do them like 1,000 times and they fit?
Well, I'm a professional actor, so I just do it, and then they'll be like, you suck, do it again. Pretty much that's our back and forth after 14 years. That sucked, again. I'm like, all right, screw you. Yeah.
Hi there.
Are you an actor? Yeah. You have a good voice.
Outside of Naruto, what would you say is the work you're most proud of in your career?
Yikes. Pressure. Are you my mom? Proud that I have a career, first of all. It's a miracle. Well, Jakers, I won the Emmy and got nominated, lost to Eartha Kitt, whatever. No, just kidding. She deserved it that year, and I knew I was going to lose, so I got tanked. I was like, I'm not winning this one. Bottoms up, free booze. This is vodka, by the way. Jakers, Lab Rats was astounding. I was only supposed to do one episode of Lab Rats, and I did like about 60 to 70, 65. I haven't counted, but I'll let you know when I get my next paycheck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lab Rats was pretty astounding because they really wrote the character for me. It was sort of a generic character at first, and then it was just like, boom, they wrote everything around, whatever. I was proud to be part of Rango because I won the Oscar. That was pretty cool. Wasn't invited, thank you. We're never invited to those. Shameless was cool. I did Shameless for 2 seasons recurring, 6 episodes. That was pretty cool because it's a great drama and it's a prestigious show. Annie Rossum should win an Emmy, and she hasn't. I just did the Mindy project, and that was really cool. And hats off to her because she is dynamite. I don't know. I've been acting professionally for 30 years.
It's tough to choose.
It's tough to choose, but those are some of the highlights. Thank you.
So this has been on my mind for a while, and I'm sure it's on everyone else's mind too.
Probably not mine though.
If they asked you to do a live action Naruto, would you do it?
Well, I'm not Japanese. I don't want to pull the Scarlett Johansson card. Screw her. I'm gonna turn it down. So maybe I'll be a peasant by the side of the road. Like a foot on and like, hello, farmer lady, just ignore me. I don't know. If it's in Japan, they probably won't cast me. I mean, they're gonna do it here, but it seems a little racist for me to think of it. Maybe I'll get to do like an off-camera voice or something. I will say that I've been asked a lot of questions about it, and that's all I can say. But not paid for them, so I'm like, yeah, what is it? Like,
Do you have a favorite villain of the Naruto series?
sorry, what?
A favorite villain?
Ooh, well, sort of like what Nicholas said. Hey, Nicholas, what's going on back here? Mara. God, there's so many. Tabata. I heard you. Yeah, I like Tabata. He's got a weird little voice, too. I always go with Orochimaru. I don't know. It's pretty much my go-to. But not Goku, whoever that is. Yeah, that's it. Come on, you guys. More questions. I got a whole hour.
Another one?
Yeah. You can. Nicholas can.
Do you think that Mama was overpowered?
Overpowered?
Yeah, it was a little too powerful for it to make sense.
For him to what?
Make sense. Like, he was a little too powerful during the show, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so.
He summoned a meteor.
What's wrong with that? I can summon a meteor.
Good answer.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're giant toads and wood style jutsu. What are you gonna do with that? Oh, here again, my nemesis.
So are there any moments that didn't happen in Naruto that you kind of wish could have happened?
Like marrying Sasuke? Yeah. That's the one.
Like for example, in the war arc, there's certain pervy sage have it a little bit more involved than you say he might not have. Like any moments like that, maybe?
I was sad to see him go. So I wish he'd stuck around longer. I will say that. But, I am so in awe of the series and the depth of it and all the arcs and all the characters. I mean, it's hard for me to remember all that stuff. So to have these interwoven things, there's an artist here, you have to go check it out. I think the guy himself is here. I met him at a convention in, I don't know where I was. Not Orlando, but Texas. I don't know where I was. I've been in a lot of places this year. But I was just in Detroit and Chicago and Raleigh and Shreveport and Jackson, Mississippi. Where did I see you last?
I was last at AX, so I think I saw you there.
Oh, in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's this artist that did this poster, and it's a compilation. It's really cool. It's a compilation of the series with interactions of the characters, and one side is Sasuke and one side is Naruto. It's very complicated, and it's so incredible. Go try and find it. I think it's an Artist Alley. And that kind of tells you how complex this show is. And in a way, it's like a soap opera, but a really good one, not a cheesy soap opera. You know? So you always stay interested. You never know who's going to come back to life, or appear in a vision, or in a flashback that explains things, as I said previously. So, yeah, I don't know that I would change anything because I'm not the creator. That's a stupid answer, but it's true. Thank you.
Good question, Nicholas.
Yeah. I like Nicholas. Don't kill me, bro.
When Toby first appeared in the show, did you think he was just a low-life idiot?
Toby? Yeah. You do? Clearly. Yeah, I did.
But then he turned out to be my character.
Well, they always come around, right? Weirdo side. You know.
Never say that if there's a new character who seems to be an idiot, they will become the biggest badass in the entire show.
Yeah. And if they're evil, they'll turn good, usually.
Anime, that's how it works.
I like it. You're a good question answer. I should have you write slogans for me. You can tweet for me. Anime, that's how it works. I'm gonna steal that from you. Do you mind? #Zach.
How do you feel about being Boruto's dad?
Don't ever ask me to sign Boruto's dad. Because I ain't gonna do it. No, it's cool. I really won't sign Boruto's dad.
And I was wondering, what's like the breakdown like for doing voiceover for video games, and how far in ahead do you know like which video game you're doing, and is it like all code work? Like code work to the game industry, or like do you see like also like previews of like what you're trying to voice?
No. Or like, can you do a video game Tuesday at 2 o'clock till 4 or 6 and scream? Yes. And I'm like, how much? And I'm like, this much. And I go, okay. And then I go in there and I go, Shadow Clone Jutsu. And I go, that's my Nindo, my ninja way. I say that 7 times different ways, different volumes. They never tell us anything at all. Now, I did a video game that isn't out yet. It's made in Canada. I think they're Canadians. I say the same thing mostly over and over again in video games. But I have to re-record all of it. They don't ever use what I've already recorded. So this last one I did was 12,000 lines. Wow, 12,000 lines. Just go home and say 12,000 things in the mirror. It'll take you like 2 weeks.
If you had to choose in between Iruka Sensei, Kakashi Sensei, and Jiraiya, who would you choose?
Jiraiya. You know when I say pervy sage, I can't say that on network television. So every line that has pervy sage in it, I have to say, the old man! Yeah. I'm like, really? You can't say pervy on Adult Swim? But you can.
Do you watch anime, and if so,
No.
what's your go-to? No?
I watch my show. I'm gonna watch someone else's show. I don't have time for that. No, usually I was on like Lab Rats, Naruto, and Shameless at the same time. So sometimes I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning, go to Warner Brothers, shoot Shameless. On lunch break, I go to Hollywood to shoot Lab Rats. Or rehearse it, probably not shooting it. And then I go back to Burbank to record Naruto for 2 hours. Then they email me new scripts for Lab Rats and revised scripts for Shameless. So the last 5 years have been extremely busy for me. Thank goodness. I'm very lucky.
If they were to ever like prop up like a spin-off series with like you and Jiraiya to like fill in those 3-year time gaps, would you do it?
How much?
We can do an abridged one or something.
Of course I would do it, yeah. I'm doing Boruto. I mean, it can't be worse. What? I'm totally kidding. I know nothing about it. I've done 7 episodes where I have like 7 lines. I know nothing about Boruto. I really don't know. I will watch it. I heard you. You should watch it. That's my dad. I already had my mom. Yes.
Do you have a favorite Naruto opening?
Oh, the songs?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, make some noise! Yes! I met those guys at a convention, a really huge one in Baltimore, as big as this one.
Heroes Comeback.
And they were, what are they?
The name of the song is called Heroes Comeback.
Heroes Comeback. Do you know the name of the group?
I used to.
Okay. It's like 3 Japanese guys, right?
Yeah.
So I meet them in the green room, we're back there eating food, and I'm like, oh my god, hey, you were the guys singing this theme song. I'm Naruto. They're like, what? I was all excited. Whip it out, and they're like, sorry, get a sandwich. Or serve me a sandwich.
Why do you think Jiraiya wasn't brought back into reanimation jutsu?
Oh. I don't know, he's in jail.
Alive underwater.
I think everyone's still alive. Except for Lady Chino. That kind of broke my heart, actually. That was a hard episode, whoever asked me that question. Or arc. Yeah.
I'm back.
2 of them.
Yes. Have you or would you ever read Naruto Sasuke fanfiction?
Nope. Hate it, don't read it. First of all, people will send me stuff like that, and I'll be like, for proprietary reasons. If you read that stuff and then someone says, it ended up in the show, and I wrote it, you stole it. I'm like, you know, it's a fine line there. Plus, people send me really weird crap. Like, I'm not reading this garbage. destroys my soul.
So not specific just to Naruto, what was your, I guess, favorite jutsu scene?
Not specific?
Yeah, not specific to Naruto.
Oh, wow. I like wood style. I think it's kind of stupid. Like, wood style! It's like you can do anything and just put up some wood. Thanks. I have to get some more water. Thank you. It's you again!
It's me again.
I love your outfit.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Could you do this?
Raise the sun.
I'm not going to run for you with my arms behind my back. Where's the Naruto dude? Dude, you're up. Come on.
Do it.
Move out of the way, Scotty. Move out of the way, sir. My young friend. All right, let's do it. Ready? I'm going to say Rasengan. You're going to go. Rasengan! No, you're coming back. Go. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. That's my new thing. First I look at you and see if you're fit enough to do it. Which you are, and young enough, and then I make you do it. Works like a charm. I've never seen one of those runs in person, but I was going to go to USC, had a run, and there were like hundreds of people, like 400, thank you, 400 people that did the run, students. And then I got booked on a job and I couldn't go, but I called the coordinator of the run and I said, hey, I want to show up. Just, it's not too far from my house. And he was like, oh my God, that'd be amazing. And then I called him back and said, I can't do it. But hopefully I'll go to one of those runs one day where it's massive. I think the biggest one I saw was somewhere in the Midwest. There were like 1,000 people that did the Naruto run, which is amazing. Yes, sir.
Hi, Miley.
Hey, what's up?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Naruto's powers is that he can clone himself.
Right.
I was wondering, if you could clone yourself, what would your other selves be doing? If you had that power,
I'd be really thin, really rich, and like 24.
I meant that if you had that power, how would you use it?
Poorly.
Thank you.
Yeah, come back with 2 more questions.
Okay.
What was your...
Wait, what's your name first?
Zach.
Zach, right, that's right.
Um,
You said it first when you had the mask on, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So what was your reaction when Naruto went full savage mode and roasted Sakura when she confessed her love to him in the end of season 4 of Shippuden?
People aren't there yet, Zach! Hey, not everybody started watching it 14 years ago.
I started watching it like last year.
Last year? Oh, you must have binge watched it. Did you do any homework or?
I didn't have any homework.
You didn't have? Oh, you're smart.
And the second question is, out of the multiple pains, which is your favorite?
God, I don't know. The multiple pains. I just remember pains. What are the multiple pains?
There are 6.
There's like one mechanical dude, one like soul dude, one like horse dude. That's all I remember.
Well, then I certainly don't remember.
Way too much.
Yeah.
The dude that can bring people back to life.
Oh, I like people that bring people back to life.
Yeah.
So my actor friends can pay their mortgage. Thank you, Zach. Is it with a K or an H? As it should be. It's you again.
Yeah, hello again.
I'm going to only speak to you in Spanish, okay? ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué quieres?
All right.
Backfired.
Which characters do you think that only last a few episodes or 1 or 2 of the movies do you think should have came back or should have had more development during their short time around the show?
That's a good question. Not that little bratty princess from the movie, I'll tell you that much. Knock her off. Get her away. I thought Lady Chio was interesting and cool because she was an older character and had a lot of wisdom. I'm sad to see that Rock Lee kind of disappeared for a while.
Oh yeah.
Because I always liked that character.
He wasn't pretty cool. He wasn't pretty cool.
Yeah, he was there for a lot in the beginning and then kind of just disappeared.
I know.
Comes back.
I wish he was. I wish he had a bit more bigger role because I would have liked to see him take his Gates powers.
Yeah,
a lot further because I think he reached
his potential.
Higher ones.
Right.
During his arc.
Yeah, he didn't have a whole lot of change, whereas like everybody else did. All the main characters, anyway. But yeah, I kind of wish Rock Lee developed in a different way. But I like the character of Rock Lee a lot.
Yeah, and
for sure. Thank you so much.
Hi. I have 2 questions.
No, only one.
How did you feel about your connection or relationship with Jiraiya?
I love that relationship. I love that he was a little bit goofy, I just remember the episode where Naruto's trying to learn the Rasengan, and I just liked him as a mentor and a sensei. I really do like that character. It's one of my favorites. And Choji, for no reason. Except for that he eats a lot, and I like eating. Works for me. Thanks. A newbie. Hey.
So, from watching Naruto for many years, I've learned, and I think many of us have learned many life lessons that Naruto and many of the characters have taught us. Are there any particular life lessons that have stood out for you when reading the scripts or voice acting for the series?
I would like to fly with my arms behind my back with a coffee filter around my neck. No, I love the loyalness of his friends, and I grew up moving around a lot. I lived all over the world, Germany, Bangkok, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't grow up in the States. And so either I was losing my best friend every other year, or I moved every couple of years. So I kind of love that he sort of, we just did a flashback in the last episode I did on Wednesday, where he was really little. And I forgot that he was really on his own. Like, he had to go out and even look for food and stuff, So to fight back from that kind of a battle, a lot of people come up to me. It hasn't happened here that much yet. Probably tomorrow it'll happen. But in the last year or two, actually many years, a lot of guys come up to me that are like about 20, in their 20s. And it's mostly guys and some women. And sometimes they'll slip me a letter or something. And they'll say, this really got me through hard times, and without this, or they'll say I was bullied, or I had a really crappy family life, and they get very emotional, and they said that helped them get through it. People have said to me that they were suicidal, and it helped them get through it. You wouldn't believe the stuff that I hear. And it's wonderful that people have found that, and that they open up in that way. And I think it's due to him just sticking to his goals, and sticking to his friendships and being loyal to people. And that is something that has stuck with me. When you hear that message repeatedly, you're reminded that that's important, that you should show up for people and do whatever you can to be loyal to the people that support you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Zach. What's happening?
Another 2 more questions.
Okay, only one.
First one, if you could bring back one good guy who is dead in the Naruto series, who would you bring back?
Who else?
Well, I said Jiraiya, so him.
Please bring back Neji.
Yeah! I love Neji. Question 2.
If you could bring back one evil character, who would you bring back?
Yeah, Zabuza.
Zabuza had a redemption, so.
Yeah, but during Zabuza's, life, he was pretty creepy.
Okay,
Are you allowed to do a demonstration of you yelling out Rasengan as you were doing it in the studio?
Rasengan!
There you go.
That's like half as loud as I do it, but for me it's like 8:30 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning.
Do you think Sakura is useless?
You know, if she's a medic, she doesn't do a good job. Everybody's bleeding all the time. No, I don't think she's useful. She could be more useful.
Exactly. She got your heart beating. What more do you want?
Yeah. Somebody else would have done it. Or then they make it a clone. You didn't die, that was a clone. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question and a little request.
Oh,
Question: has there ever been a line you had to take a couple times to say? Like,
6 pounds-tailed beasts. Try it, say it out loud.
6 pounds-tailed beasts.
Say it again.
6 pounds-tailed beasts.
Now scream it.
6 pounds-tailed beasts.
Yeah, sure, it's easy for you guys. I had to say that like 15 times the other day. I was like, really? Naruto Shippuden. Here, I'm going to look up a different line I wrote down. I think just to remember how horrible it was and I did a bad job. Yeah. Unless it's something about smoked fish. I don't know what that is. I'll find it. I think it's in notes. Anyway, there are lots of lines like that that are really weird. Beasts is a hard thing to say. There was some character that I had a really... Oh, it's in Boruto. Samura is the character. You guys know Samura? Anyway, also, Shikamaru. We had different producers that were Japanese. And one of them said you have to say it, Shikamaru. And the other Japanese producer said, Shikamaru. I was like, really? So what do you want me to say? So I had to go back and redo that Shikamaru for like 6 episodes till that producer left. Because they just weren't hearing what it was. And I was like, but for 10 years we were saying Shikamaru. But, so once in a while there are names in there and the Japanese say it a little bit differently. And we kind of Americanize a lot of the stuff. Konohagakure, you know, that's an example. So sometimes the names, also, I had to do this one thing, they gave me a song to sing. I don't know what happened to that episode. But they gave me a song to sing, and it was in Japanese, but they translated it to English. But they never matched the lyrics with the tempo of the song in English, and there was no track for me to sing. So I don't know how to do this. Like, I physically don't know how to do this.
what's the tail beast?
Tail beasts? Yeah. So did they end up, I never saw that.
I don't think they did.
They kept it in Japanese, right? Yeah, because I was like, how am I supposed to do this? I was like, you need to have a Japanese person translate this into English, then sing it, so I can sing it. Because it didn't match up at all. Usually when I do songs for, which I don't sing, but I've had to sing a lot of cartoons, they give you like a track with somebody singing it, like just a composer or something. And then they give you a track where it's just music and then you sing along. But they didn't do it, so I was like, this isn't possible. So I couldn't do it and I didn't do it. And I've never seen it, so I should look that up. Homework.
I also had a small request. Can you please say Rasen Shuriken?
Rasen Shuriken! That's kind of lame, sorry. Well, I need more tea. No.
So I recently got to the episodes where Jiraiya's death happened. And I probably cried for like 20 or 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, it was sad.
I wanted to know how you felt about that. How did you...
I felt sad. I mean, it was hard. It was heart-wrenching. You know, I don't believe as an actor that you can phone it in, because I think when people hear that, like, there's a lot of great anime out there, a lot of wonderful cartoons, but there's a lot of crappy anime where they did it really quickly and really cheaply. They didn't take the time to make it really sound authentic or even match up. And we don't do that in our show. We always take time to make it work. And I think that's why it's one of the most successful anime shows ever. I guess. Weird. So anytime there are those sensitive and emotional moments, they do get to me. The other day I recorded, again, it was a thing because I've lost both my parents, but my parents made a flashback, sort of toward the end of the series. And I was like, and in it I was crying, and then I started crying, and the engineer, Susie's like, are you crying, dude? I'm like, yeah, back up. But, you know, if you get into that mode, you do it. I mean, I didn't shit my pants for the Curry episode, but, yeah. Thanks. I like to say that when there are 8-year-olds in the room. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Have you ever heard of the terrible disease called Sakura syndrome?
No, what are you talking about?
It's when female anime characters want to be useful, monologue about it, but in the end, never do anything helpful ever.
Is that a real thing, or did you make that up?
That is a real thing.
Sakura syndrome?
Yes.
Like if I Googled it, I would find it?
Probably.
I don't have reception in here. I'll try it when I get back to the hotel. No, I've never heard of that. Now I have. Wait a minute. What's happening here? Yes.
Okay. I've been really cringe because everyone's saying that Sakura is so useless. But there's at least 10 characters who would be dead without Sakura.
Yay for Sakura! Okay, here.
You said that puppet lady's like a different name.
The puppet lady?
Yeah.
Lady?
Cheetah.
Lady Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she was useless there, wasn't she? So she did.
So many lies.
Okay.
But no one gives her any.
I'm a fan of Sakura. He isn't.
I'm pretty sure in one episode of Boruto, it was found out that Sakura never had a kid with Sasuke.
Oh.
It was horrible.
Spoiler. Yeah, I only know what I've done in Boruto, which is like nothing. Frankly. I don't know what happened in Boruto. I really don't.
Just so you know, we are at about the 10-minute mark.
10 minutes, get your
If you have any
questions.
questions, now would be the time.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite Naruto movie and why?
The Last. The movie called The Last. Because I thought the animation was spectacular. Like, I don't know if a different studio animated that movie or what, but I thought it was very vivid. And I never did see it on the big screen though, but I wish I had. The only movie I've seen on the big screen is the very first movie we had a premiere in LA. Or it was in a theater, a regular theater. And then the Boruto movie I've never seen. Because when they premiered it, when I was at a convention in Dallas, they premiered it at a massive theater right next to me in the convention center, and I was doing a panel. I was like, really? I want to be over there. So I've never actually seen that movie. The only thing I've seen in that movie is what I did. So that's kind of weird. I should get on that. But they should give me a copy of it.
Okay, so I apologize. I'm apparently bad at math. We actually only have 5 minutes left. So I will ask that currently people who are in line, do we have anyone who hasn't yet asked a question? Anyone? No?
Yeah. And the guy in the back, you haven't asked a question.
Yeah, hold on up here.
No, you guys come first.
I can confirm that Sakura Haruno syndrome is a real thing if you look
Really?
at the definition.
Okay.
According to Urban Dictionary, is when a character of anime is totally useless until a random part of the show where either on screen or off screen their abilities somehow drastically improve and they become a main part of the show.
Oh. She was always a main part of the show, though.
I'm not going to argue that.
Also, don't look at my Wikipedia. It's all bullshit.
The band name, in case you're wondering, is also called Nobody Knows.
Oh, no wonder nobody knows.
Exactly.
Dumb band name.
As far as questions go, can you please tell me where home is?
My home?
No, just where home is.
Where home is? I don't
For those of you that don't get this question, I just remembered that this is the part of the show everybody skipped.
What is it?
The home is where somebody is thinking of you arc. The capture the three tails arc.
The what?
The capture. Oh, now you remember.
The what?
The capture the three tails arc.
Oh, yeah. Not my favorite arc.
I still don't know where home is though.
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me. I don't know what answer you want. I thought you were asking me where my home was, which is LA. It's a lovely house with a pool and a garden. And a dog.
So I just wanted to know, how do you feel about the general narrative of history sort of repeating itself from generation to generation? Naruto, Jiraiya, and now you're into Boruto.
Like I said, I don't know a lot about Boruto. It looks a little bit similar to me about generations repeating, where they have to take a learning curve and do it. But I think in real life, that's kind of what happens, isn't it? I mean, you know, you learn, your parents learn, whatever. I mean, I don't feel like in Naruto, when it jumped to Naruto Shippuden, I don't really feel like it repeated itself. I feel like it grew on top of itself.
I guess I'm referring more to now to Boruto, because there's some very, very, very similar.
Oh, Boruto? Yeah, again, I mean, I don't know. I've only recorded literally I've only been recording it for like 2 weeks, and I've done like 7 episodes, maybe. And all of that has primarily been like sort of flashbacks and taking him out to run, which doesn't really tell me a whole lot about the story, except for he's a little whiny. Yeah, not gonna lie. Not me. Yeah.
All right, so once we finish these 3 individuals, these 4, we're probably gonna have to end it, and we're about 2 minutes, just so you're aware.
You mean talk quickly, that's what you mean. Don't go off on a tangent.
Or ask short questions.
What's the funniest thing that's happened to you at a convention?
Oh, that's a good question. I love that. Well, here's one that I tell all the time. It's funny, it's kind of funny. I was in New Zealand, and there was a room like this big, or wherever I was sitting at a table like this, and there was a room, people all around, and for some reason nobody was around me at the time, and I was sitting down. And right at the end, where the wall would be back there, was this enormous guy. He looked like Jason Momoa, that guy. So he was like just huge and hairy and big. And then I just saw him staring at me, like, and I was like, what's happening? And I was like, he started walking toward me with purpose. He's like, is he gonna eat me? And I'm kind of panicking, looking around for somebody. I don't know where everybody was. And I'm like, this guy's coming at me. I don't know. Does he have a knife? What's happening? And he kind of came right up and he goes, hi, I want you to have this. And it was like this palm frond that was made into a gift basket, and inside was a poem that he'd written and a piece of traditional Maori jewelry that he had carved for me, and he said, welcome to our country. Yeah! That was pretty cool, and he didn't need me, which was also cool. I've had a lot of funny things, but mostly like really moving things. Like, I'm not going to end on a downer, but I met these kids. So ask me an uplifting question next. But I met these kids in Dublin, and there were 6 hearing impaired, like young adults, like about 19, 20. And their mother was signing for them. And they came up to me, and they got autographs, and a couple of them could hear, kind of, and then a couple of them could not hear at all. And so there are these 2 twin boys that are just gorgeous, like blonde, 20-year-old guys, and they left. And the mother came back to me and said, I want you to know that they have a genetic disease where they're going blind and deaf. And Naruto is what reminds them of color, and we built them a guest house. And around the guest house are murals, because they're artists, visual artists. And they were painting murals of Naruto all around to remember color when they eventually want to go to high, which they will in the next 5 years. I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even know how to answer that. I was just so overwhelmed by that. And it meant so much that, it's you think it's trivial and dumb, there's a lot of funny, dumb stuff, which I love, because I do a lot of comedy, obviously. But then you meet somebody like that, and you're like, this is life-changing, So I'm very proud of it.
All right, and I'm sorry to cut us off there, but unfortunately that is going to be all the time we have. However, Maile will be signing at the table. Why don't we give her a hand?
Thank you for watching the Convention Junkies coverage of Fan Expo Canada 2018. Join the conversation below with a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. If you would like to help us with future projects, please visit our Patreon page.